and introducing the brand new 2008 Mini Cooper S to the channel here. What's up everybody, Superleggera fan here for weekly update number 4 in the Mini on this Friday. So what's new with the Mini? Not much, it's just you soldiering on here, driving without issue, and having good times, you know, enjoying this summer with this car. Like I said, all the moonroofs on, fun stuff is always nice. And you know, based on last week's feedback from the video where you guys were just saying, most of you said it'd probably be best just for me to save my money and wait for something better to come along later on and upgrade cars sooner instead of putting money into this car, which I think is what I was kind of leaning towards too, and I agree. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'd like to maybe do an exhaust if I can work out a deal with an exhaust company or something. Maybe they can hook me up with one that I can install. Aside from that though, probably not really going to do anything else to this car except maybe exhaust system, and that's about it. So I mean, but like I said, that's no fault against the car. It's not that I don't want to invest money into it, it's just that it's really good the way it is. I really do like it. I know some of you have said, we can tell from your videos you're not as excited as you are on the BRZ, and I've had this car for about a month now, and I do think that I had more fun in the BRZ for sure. The BRZ is more exciting. It's just a little bit more relaxed of a driving experience. Like I said, with the turbo, you don't have to rev the crap out of it like you did with the BRZ. But I do miss rear-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive is fine, it's good, it's enjoyable. The torque steer and stuff like that is fun. But I miss rear-wheel drive, I really do. I'm telling you what, on these rainy days, it was so much fun getting that back end to kick out a little bit and stuff. BRZ is it was a spectacular car for sure. And there's lots of other fun rear-wheel drive cars. I just think I miss rear-wheel drive. I think is the huge thing. I miss the BRZ's rear-wheel drive as well. But yeah, so that's really it though. I mean, nothing to report on the Mini here. It's just doing well. The brakes continue to dust, so everyone thinks this car is filthy 100% of the time. You can wash this car and 2 days later it'll look like absolute crap. But at least the wheels will, because the wheels just get dirty so quickly. And so I'm not trying to keep this car in pristine shape. So those of you that see me out and about, it might be a little dirty. That's just because no matter what I do, these wheels are going to look filthy. And just something I've kind of come to expect and accept, I guess. So yeah, that's really it for all the stuff. I'll be doing a little trip this weekend to Columbus, Ohio to film some videos for you guys there, and so that'll be cool, so stay tuned for that this weekend. I'll be filming this weekend, so you'll probably see the videos early next week sometime. That'll be fun. Thanks for your support on the reviews as well. The Mazda Speed 3 I just did, and then I also filmed the BMW review last week, and I appreciate all the positive feedback on those. And I have another review coming up here next week that I'll be posting up of a Corvette Z06. It's the 2008 model that I reviewed, and that was fun for sure, so stay tuned for that. But yes, that's it for all the updates, guys, so I'll send it back to me at the news desk for this week's news. Right, for this week's news. The big news here is Subaru has announced the 2015 Subaru BRZ Series.Blue. And yeah, it's exactly what we were talking about. I think someone leaked out some information several weeks ago, back when I had my BRZ, and this is official now. There's some pictures here of what it looks like. It's called the Series.Blue, and they're doing 1,000 of them. Half of them will be in white, the other half are going to be in blue, so it's interesting they're calling it Series.Blue and only half of them are actually going to be blue. But basically it's like the BRZ TS package that's in Japan, except without all the handling stuff. So not only do we not get any more power, but we don't even get some morsels of handling improvement that you get with the Japanese version. So this is purely cosmetics. I mean, yes, they say there's underbody panels that take the car's drag coefficient from 0.28 to 0.27. Mind blown. And sorry, I'm just really cynical about this because they could have made this so much better. They have the parts, they're in Japan, they just choose not to give us the good stuff, and that's really annoying to me. So yeah, 200 horsepower still, same thing. So basically what this Series.Blue has is, it only makes sense for you if you were planning on doing a BRZ TS lookalike anyway. So what you get for your additional money is that you get the STI front lip, side skirts, and rear underspoiler, and on top of that you have some 17-inch STI wheels with red brake calipers. For the interior, there's blue side bolsters, there's blue inserts on the steering wheel, BRZ is stitched in silver on the headrest, there's blue piping, and you know, some blue stitching in random places. And that's it. So that's the big 2015 BRZ announcement. Yeah, sorry, just not really excited about this. And the kicker is the price for this, including destination, is going to be $30,285. So, I mean, basically, it's almost $3,000 more than a BRZ Limited that it's based on. Now, okay, so this is fully loaded. The Limited, it has auto climate control, all that stuff. But still, almost $3,000 more for that? I mean, I don't know. Seems like a steep price, and yeah, not very impressive whatsoever. So that's slightly disappointing. Google's unveiled their fully autonomous hands-free car prototype. And it's how you would expect a little autonomous car to look like. It kind of looks like a cartoon or something. Very cool though, it's very basic. But the crazy thing is there is no controls whatsoever. There's no steering wheel, no pedals. Nothing. It just has a screen there to input your address, and it just goes to the address that you specify, which is, it's really crazy. And it's not like it's very luxurious. Obviously, it's very small and just bare bones, and it only has a top speed of 25 miles per hour right now. So it's just, obviously, this is in the very, very early stages. But it's really cool to see, you know, this prototype that's, you know, basically a fully autonomous car. It's really crazy. So I don't know if this is the future or not, but it's pretty exciting regardless. Next bit of news is Bentley has teased their first SUV with a little video short that they've done, and basically it has Continental GT headlights, a grille off of a Mulsanne, and obviously it's a slightly higher ride height, and it's going to have probably the somewhat similar dimensions to the Porsche Cayenne is my guess. So that's what we'll be seeing. They teased it here though. Obviously it's nothing crazy, nothing revolutionary, especially since the first Bentley SUV prototype that they put out, you know, I think a year or two ago, that didn't go over very well with people. So I think they're going conservative, just with what everyone likes, which is the standard Continental GT front end, and just putting it on a lifted chassis essentially. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see, you know, them doing an SUV. Hopefully it'll be released pretty soon. Next is that Porsche is testing a 911 GTS, which isn't too big of a shocker considering they did a GTS version of the previous 911, you know, the 997 generation, and they just debuted the Cayman and Boxster GTS. And so 911 GTS is underway here, and you know, it has some cool center exhaust pipes, and I mean, obviously this is going to be the handling package with the GTS. It's not the fast one, obviously, like the turbo or anything, but it's still going to be a really sweet car. So excited to see the final version of that. Next is some Mini news, and that is that Mini is testing the new John Cooper Works version of the Cooper S on the Nürburgring. And you can tell, obviously, it's the John Cooper Works because there's the more aggressive front fascia, and you know, I think it looks really good. It has the more aggressive wheels, and you know, the new Mini at first I was kind of iffy about the way it looked, but it's slowly starting to win me over. I really like the way that it looks now, and I think the John Cooper Works version is going to look even sweeter, so excited to see that. Other sweet Mini news is Mini just officially debuted this week the Mini Superleggera Vision, which is an all-electric roadster Mini that was it's beautiful, but it wasn't designed by Mini. It was actually designed by Touring Superleggera, which are the same people that did the Disco Volante that Jeremy Clarkson was drooling all over in this previous season of Top Gear. And it's a beautiful car. I love the center fin in the back, and it's really sweet. I mean, I don't think it's very Mini-like. You know, it has Mini headlights, and I mean, it kind of has a Mini front end, but obviously a Mini is a boxy little car. And so this being this roadster that's sleek and elegant, doesn't really fit the Mini brand in my opinion, but I still think they should make it because it's a beautiful car. If they mass-produce something that looked even remotely close to that, that would be a huge winner for them. And they've been trying to play around with a roadster idea anyway with the previous generation of the Mini Cooper S, so why not just go full roadster and just make this, and that's spectacular. Hats off to Touring Superleggera. That's a beautiful car. Another beautiful car by a small little Italian styling shop is Zagato. They debuted the Zagato Lamborghini 595, which is beautiful. It's based on the Gallardo LP570 Superleggera. I mean, so it's a very high-performing car, but it looks completely different than any other Lamborghini. This one, I mean, it looks a little bit like the Huracan and stuff like that, but the back end almost looks like a Ferrari or something. And it's a beautiful car, though. I actually really like the way that looks. You know, it's clearly just a prototype. It's like a one-off kind of deal, but it's beautiful to see, and yeah, maybe Lamborghini will incorporate some of these designs in the future. Next is that Volvo has released some images of the new XC90 interior, and if you remember, they put out some gorgeous looking concept cars several months ago, and you know, they had some very gorgeous interiors as well. The production version isn't quite as gorgeous, but it is still very cool with the digital gauges, and it has almost like a Tesla inspired iPad sized center screen, which is really cool, and it looks really good though. It's a beautiful interior for sure. I can't wait to see the whole exterior and everything else. Next is a report that Mercedes says that they see a space in the market for a C-Class four-door coupe. So, if you thought they had a four-door coupe already, you're right. It's called the CLA. But apparently they say they want a 4 Series, because now, you know, BMW's doing the 4 Series Grand Coupe or whatever they're going to be calling it, which is just a coupe version of the 4 Series, but the 4 Series was a 2-door coupe version of the 3 Series. So if you want a 4-door version of a car that size BMW, buy a 3 Series, not a 4 Series Grand Coupe. This whole thing is just, it's spiraling out of control in my opinion. I don't understand. We're going to have spin-offs of spin-offs. It's like a sequel to a sequel to a sequel. It's just bizarre. I don't understand this. They're building a house of cards here with their model portfolio in my opinion, but this is just, Mercedes says that people want a sleeker design. I mean, they're kind of knocking the C-Class. This brand new C-Class is gorgeous looking and kind of looks coupey already. It's not like it's a boxy SUV or something, so there's no reason for a coupe version. But apparently Mercedes is considering it. So if you said, you know what, the C-Class is really nice, but there's too much headroom and way too much interior space. I want less interior space, but I don't want a CLA. You're going to have a C-Class pretty soon that's going to be less practical than the current version. So, again, I don't see the sense in these, but I won't rant any longer. Next is that Audi's revealed a facelifted version of the A7 and S7 in Europe, and we'll be getting the same updates as well, I'm sure, but it looks really good. You know, it kind of looks similar to the newest version of the Audi R8 that we have out currently, and so that those headlights are kind of trickling down to the rest of the lineup here. And the A7 was already a beautiful car, so putting, you know, these more aggressive headlights and, you know, the front fascia slightly tweaked, different wheels, different taillights slightly. I mean, it doesn't need much. You know, it's a little bit fresher now. It's a little more modern looking, but it was already a great car to begin with. So, yeah, good to see those minor refreshes for that. And the last thing is a report, again, I love the whole Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge, that whole group with Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. Just a wonderful conglomerate of car makers. But anyway, Marchione, who is the CEO of Fiat, has said publicly, do not buy the 500e. So I guess there was some mandate or something they had to build these electric Fiat 500s, and they say that they lose $14,000 on each one that they sell. So Marchione went on record as saying, I hope you don't buy it. I don't want you to buy it. You know, he thinks that as far as, you know, fuel-efficient vehicles, that there's still a lot of development to be done with a combustion engine. He thinks that combustion engines, along with electricity, is probably the future, but not a full electric car. The technology still isn't there just yet. These obviously are very expensive to build if you're losing $14,000 on each one, so it doesn't make any sense to make them, but for some reason they have to. But it's just really funny that their CEO is saying, don't buy our electric cars. That's the kind of attitude I like. So, nothing against Tesla or anything like that, but I love that attitude. Who would say don't buy our cars? But that's what he's saying. So I don't know. Their whole company is really awesome and just gutsy, and I like that. So anyway, that's it for all the news this week, guys. So send it back to me in the car. Alright, so I'll leave you guys with a nice little acceleration here like I always do. Crazy as the BRZ with the way it accelerates, but it's going just as fast as the BRZ was, guys. It's still fun. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Take care.